welcome back to another lesson. Today we're gonna be learning about proper and improper fractions. In the past we learned about fractions. We learned how to identify a fraction and how to read a fraction. Today we're gonna learn how to tell the difference between a proper and an improper fraction. This is not something complicated. If you stay with me until the end, you're going to understand it really well. So, let's get started. In the first place, remember something. Do you remember the parts of the fraction? The parts of the fraction are numerator and denominator. The numerator is a number on the top, right? And the denominator is a number at the bottom. Do you remember that? Okay, now we're gonna look at the three fractions that I wrote in the board, and we're gonna be talking about them. Okay, in first place, look at this fraction. What can you say? What can you notice? All right, I'll tell you. If you notice, the number in the numerator is less than the number in the denominator, right? In other words, 1 is less than 4. So when a number in the numerator is less than the number in the denominator, we are going to call it a proper fraction. Okay? This number is less than this number, the fraction is going to be proper. Okay? Now, let's pay attention to the second fraction number 2. Alright, so look at this. We got a 6 and we got a 3. Which number is greater in this case? Okay, you will notice that 6 is greater than 3. But didn't I tell you before that this number had to be less than this one? Well, it doesn't happen like that all the time. So when you have a fraction like this, when the numerator is greater than the denominator, we're gonna call it improper, okay? We call it improper. I'm gonna repeat myself one more time. If this number is greater than this number, the fraction is gonna be improper, okay? Now, let's look at the third example. What can you notice? If you looked at the numbers closely, you will understand that 4 and 4 are the same number, aren't they? Okay, so when that is the case, when the number in the numerator and the number in the denominator are the same, you know what? The fraction will also be improper. Okay? So those are the rules that you're gonna need to identify proper and improper fractions. Like I said, remember, if this number is less than the denominator, it's gonna be proper. If this number is greater than the denominator, it's going to be improper. And when the numbers are the same, the fraction is going to be improper too. Okay, let me show you a few more examples so you can understand a little bit more. So we're going to write 3/8. Okay. Remember the rules. Let's see. Is this number greater or less than this one? Obviously, 3 is less than 8, so that makes the fraction proper, right? It's a proper fraction. Another example, let's say we got 12 sevenths. 12 sevenths. Remember, is this number greater or less than this one? In this case, this number is greater than this one, right? So how do we call the fraction? We call it improper, right? Okay, we wrote, let's say, I don't know, 1/3. 1/3, is it proper or improper? Remember, this number is less than this one, so the fraction is going to be proper, okay? Another example. If I wrote, let's say, 10 tenths, okay, 10 tenths, is this number greater, less, or equal to this number, obviously they are the same number. So the fraction is going to be improper 2. Okay, so those are the rules that you need to keep in mind in order to remember how to identify a proper and an improper fraction. I'm gonna leave a picture at the end of this video so you can look at it and then you can compare. So if you have more questions, please let me know. See you in the next class.